"Baby, you look beautiful," my mother said, adjusting the collar of my emerald green dress. "This color is perfect on you." I'd spent 2 hours getting ready, hair in soft curls, makeup flawless, the dress I'd been saving for a special occasion. My birthday felt special this year. After 3 years of a rocky marriage to Derek, things finally seemed to be stabilizing. He'd been attentive lately, sweet even, planning this whole party himself. "I can't believe Derek organized all this," my sister Maya said, gesturing at the decorations. White and gold balloons, a catered spread, a DJ setting up near the pool. He really went all out. "I know," I said, smiling. "Maybe we're finally getting back to who we used to be." Derek and I had met at Howard University, both of us ambitious and in love with the idea of building an empire together. He was going to be a sports agent. I was going to be a physical therapist. We got married at 25, young and stupid and convinced love conquered everything. It didn't. His sports agency dream fizzled after 2 years of rejected clients and bad deals. My physical therapy practice thrived, which should have been good news. Instead, it became a source of resentment. He started working irregular hours at a marketing firm, came home late, pulled away emotionally. We'd been in counseling for 6 months, trying to salvage what we'd built. And lately, it seemed to be working. He was present again, engaged. Planning this party had felt like the old Derek, the one who used to surprise me with picnics and handwritten notes. "There's my birthday girl," Derek's voice carried across the patio as he emerged from the house in a crisp white shirt and slacks. He looked good. He'd been working out more, taking care of himself. He kissed my cheek, his hand lingering on my waist. "You ready for your surprise?" I laughed. "Oh, there's more than this party?" Something flickered in his eyes that I couldn't quite read. Excitement? Nervousness? Guests started arriving at 6. My parents, my sister and her husband, my best friend Simone, colleagues from my practice, Derek's co-workers, friends from church. About 50 people total, filling the backyard with laughter and music. Derek's best friend Marcus showed up around 6:30, looking uncomfortable in a suit. Marcus and Derek had been tight since college. Inseparable, really. Marcus was the best man at our wedding, the godfather we'd picked for the children we didn't have yet. He was a lawyer now, successful and single, though I'd tried to set him up with Simone more than once. "Happy birthday, Nia," Marcus said, handing me a beautifully wrapped gift. "You look stunning." "Thank you, Marcus." "You didn't have to bring anything." "Yes, I did." His expression was serious, almost sad. "Can we talk later? After the party? Is everything okay?" "Just later, please." Before I could press him, Derek called everyone to gather around. "Attention, attention everyone. I need you all over here." The crowd assembled near the champagne tower, phones out, assuming Derek was about to make a toast. My mother stood beside me, squeezing my hand. My father had his arm around my shoulders. "Thank you all for coming to celebrate my beautiful wife's birthday," Derek said, his voice carrying over the crowd. People clapped. I smiled, feeling genuinely touched. Nia and I have been together for 12 years, married for 7 of them. And tonight, I have something very important to say. My heart swelled. Maybe this was it. Maybe he was going to recommit, tell everyone how he was going to be better. Announce we were trying for a baby again. We'd stopped trying 2 years ago after the 3rd miscarriage broke us both. Derek reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. The crowd gasped. My mother's grip on my hand tightened. I felt tears starting to form. Was he going to renew our vows? Give me an anniversary ring? Then Derek turned, not toward me, toward a woman I'd never seen before, standing near the back of the crowd. She was young, mid-20s maybe, with long braids and a figure-hugging red dress. She had her hands over her mouth, tears already streaming down her face like she knew what was coming. Time slowed down. I watched Derek walk past me, through the crowd that parted like the Red Sea. people's faces shifting from excitement to confusion to horror as they realized what was happening. "Jasmine," Derek said, his voice full of emotion I hadn't heard directed at me in years. "These past 8 months with you have been the happiest of my life. 8 months. 8 months while we were in marriage counseling. 8 months while I thought we were fixing things." "What the hell?" someone muttered. My mother's hand dropped from mine. Derek got down on one knee in front of this stranger, this woman whose name I'd never heard, and opened the box. "Jasmine Brooks, will you marry me?" The silence was deafening. 50 people frozen in shock, watching my husband propose to another woman at my birthday party. Then Jasmine screamed, "Yes," and threw herself at him, kissing him like I wasn't standing 15 feet away, like my entire family wasn't watching, like my birthday party wasn't the backdrop for my public humiliation. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't process what I was seeing. My father found his voice first. "What the hell do you think you're doing, Derek?" Derek stood up, his arm around Jasmine, and had the audacity to smile. "I'm proposing to the woman I love, sir. I'm sorry it had to be today, but I couldn't wait any longer. Jasmine and I are meant to be together." "You're married to my daughter," my mother shouted. "Not for long," Derek said calmly. "The divorce papers are already drawn up. Jasmine's pregnant. We're having a baby. I'm going to be a father." That's when I felt it, the crack in my chest, like my ribs were splitting open. Pregnant, the thing we'd tried for years to achieve, the thing that broke us when it kept not happening, the thing he told me he'd made peace with not having. He'd given it to someone else. "You son of a bitch," Maya said, stepping toward him. But I put my hand out, stopping her. Something was happening inside me. The shock was burning away, replaced by something cold and sharp and crystalline. Derek had planned this. He'd planned to humiliate me in front of everyone I loved. He'd planned to announce his new life at the funeral of our marriage. He'd used my birthday, my celebration, as his stage. The cruelty was breathtaking. "Nia, I'm sorry," Derek said, not sounding sorry at all. "But you have to understand, you and I, we're not right for each other anymore. We haven't been for a long time. Jasmine understands me. She supports me. She's giving me the family you couldn't. The family I couldn't give him." He'd said it out loud, in front of everyone. Blamed me for our infertility. Blamed me for his affair. Blamed me for his decision to destroy our marriage at my own birthday party. I looked at Jasmine, who was clinging to Derek's arm, her hand on her stomach, a small bump I could see now, maybe 4 or 5 months along. She was looking at me with something like pity mixed with triumph. Did she know he was married? Did she care? "How long have you known?" I asked Derek, my voice surprisingly steady. "How long have you known she was pregnant?" 3 months, he said. "I found out right before we started counseling. Marriage counseling. He'd sat in therapy with me, holding my hand, talking about communication and rebuilding trust. All while knowing his girlfriend was carrying his child. So the counseling was just for show?" I said. "I was trying to find the right time to tell you." "At my birthday party?" My voice rose. "You thought my birthday party in front of my family and friends was the right time? I knew you'd make a scene if I told you privately." "I'd make a scene?" I laughed, a sound that didn't sound like me. "You just proposed to your pregnant girlfriend at your wife's birthday party, and I'm the one who would make a scene?" The crowd was murmuring now, people pulling out phones, filming this disaster. I could see my story becoming gossip, becoming a cautionary tale, becoming the thing people whispered about at church. "Poor Nia, did you hear what her husband did?" "Nia, I'm sorry," Derek said again, "but this is for the best, you'll see. We can both move on now and be happy." "Happy?" I repeated flatly. That's when Marcus stepped forward. He looked at Derek with something like disgust, then at me with something like desperation. "Nia, I tried to tell you," Marcus said. "I found out last week. I told him this was wrong, that he couldn't do this to you. I threatened to tell you myself if he went through with it. And yet here we are," I said. I know. I'm sorry. I should have told you anyway. Marcus turned to Derek. You're a coward. You know that? A pathetic, cruel coward. Stay out of this, Marcus. No, you just humiliated the best woman you'll ever know in front of everyone she loves. You blamed her for medical issues neither of you could control. You used her birthday party as your stage for maximum damage. What kind of man does that? Derek's jaw tightened. The kind of man who's tired of living a lie. The kind of man who deserves to be happy. At what cost? Marcus shot back. It doesn't matter, Derek said. What's done is done. Nia, the divorce papers will be delivered Monday. I've already moved my things out of the house. I'm asking for half of everything, including your practice's value. You're asking for half of my practice? I found my voice again. The practice I built while you were failing at your agency? The practice that supported us for the past 3 years? Maryland is a marital property state. I'm entitled to half of all assets acquired during the marriage. He'd planned this, down to the legal strategy. While I thought we were healing, he was plotting how to take everything. Get out, my father said, his voice shaking with rage. Get out of my house, now. Actually, sir, this is technically half mine too, since Nia and I paid for the renovations. Get out, my father roared. Derek had the audacity to look offended. He took Jasmine's hand. She was crying now, whether from the confrontation or pregnancy hormones. I didn't know and didn't care, and started walking toward the driveway. At the gate, he turned back. I really am sorry, Nia. I hope someday you understand. I couldn't stay in a marriage that was making me miserable. Then he was gone, him and his pregnant girlfriend, leaving behind a birthday party that had become a crime scene. The silence that followed was crushing. 50 people staring at me, waiting to see if I'd break down, if I'd scream, if I'd collapse. My mother was crying. My father looked like he wanted to commit murder. Maya was on her phone, probably calling her lawyer husband. Simone was frozen, her hand over her mouth. And Marcus was watching me with an expression I couldn't quite name. I looked at the champagne tower, at the birthday cake that said, Happy 37th Nia, in purple frosting. At the decorations Derek had hung himself as part of his elaborate setup. Then I did the only thing that made sense. I walked to the champagne tower, picked up a glass, and downed it in one gulp. Well, I said to the stunned crowd, that was certainly unexpected. Someone laughed nervously. I picked up another glass. Since we're all here and the food is already paid for, we might as well eat. DJ, can you play something? Anything but love songs. Nia, honey, my mother started. I'm fine, Mama, I promise. I'm not going to fall apart at my own party because my husband is an asshole. I raised my glass. To 37, may it be better than 36. A few people raised their glasses uncertainly. The DJ started playing something upbeat. Some guests started drifting toward the food, not sure what else to do. But I saw people leaving too, uncomfortable, embarrassed for me, unable to stay and pretend everything was normal. Marcus appeared beside me. Nia, did you know? I asked. Before last week? No, I swear. I saw them together at a restaurant and confronted him. He told me everything. The affair, the pregnancy, his plan to divorce you. I told him he was making the biggest mistake of his life. But you didn't tell me. He begged me not to, said he'd tell you himself, that he just needed to find the right time. I never thought, his voice broke. I never thought he'd do this. This is beyond cruel, Nia. This is evil. Yeah, I agreed. It really is. We stood there in silence, watching my birthday party limp along, people making awkward conversation. The celebration Derek had planned as the backdrop for my destruction. I meant what I said earlier. Marcus said quietly, we need to talk. After this, there's something I need to tell you. I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw something in his eyes I'd never noticed before. Okay, I said, after this. But I didn't know that what Marcus was about to tell me would change everything. that in the wreckage of Derek's betrayal, something else entirely was about to emerge. Something that would make Derek regret this night for the rest of his life. The party limped along for another hour, an awkward zombie of what it was supposed to be. Some people left immediately after Derek's exit, unable to handle the discomfort. Others stayed out of loyalty or morbid curiosity, picking at the catered food and making strained conversation. I moved through it all like a ghost, smiling when people approached with pitying eyes, accepting hugs from my mother's church friends, deflecting questions about whether I was okay, with vague reassurances that I'd be fine. But I wasn't fine. I was numb, operating on autopilot while my brain tried to process what had just happened. My husband had proposed to his pregnant girlfriend at my birthday party. Every time the thought circled back, it felt more unreal. "Nia, let me take you inside," Simone said, appearing at my elbow for the dozenth time. "You don't have to stay out here and perform for these people." "I'm not performing. This is my party. I'm not letting Derek ruin it more than he already has." "Babe, the party is ruined. Let yourself feel it." "If I start feeling it, I won't stop." I drained another glass of champagne. "So I'm going to keep not feeling it until everyone goes home." Simone looked like she wanted to argue but didn't. She just squeezed my hand and stayed close. By 8:30, most of the guests had trickled away, with awkward goodbyes and promises to check in on me. My parents were inside, my mother crying in the kitchen while my father made angry phone calls to his lawyer friends. Maya had left to get her husband, promising to come back with a legal strategy to destroy Derek. The DJ had packed up. The caterers were cleaning. The birthday party was officially over. Only a handful of people remained. Simone, Marcus, and two of my cousins who were breaking down decorations with tight-lipped fury. Go home. I told my cousins, "Please, I appreciate you staying, but I need to be alone." "You sure?" my cousin Tasha asked. "I'm sure." After they left, it was just me, Simone, and Marcus, standing in the backyard surrounded by the debris of my ruined celebration. "I should go too," Simone said reluctantly. "Unless you want me to stay over?" "No, I'm okay, really." "Nia." "Simone, please. I love you, but I need to process this alone. I'll call you tomorrow." She hugged me tight, whispered, "I'll love you," in my ear, and finally left. Which left me and Marcus. He'd been hovering all evening, helping clean up, deflecting nosy questions from guests, watching me with that same intense expression I couldn't quite read. "You said we needed to talk," I said, sinking into one of the patio chairs. My feet were killing me from standing in heels for 3 hours. "So talk." Marcus sat down across from me, leaning forward with his elbows on his knees. He looked nervous, which was unusual for him. Marcus was always confident, always composed. Seeing him unsettled made my stomach twist. "I don't even know how to start this," he said. "Just say it. After tonight, nothing could shock me." He laughed bitterly. "Don't be so sure." He took a deep breath. "Nia, I've been in love with you for 6 years." The words hung in the air between us, like a confession at a crime scene. "What?" I whispered. "I'm in love with you. I have been since Derek and I went into business together that first year after you got married. I've watched you build your practice from nothing. I've watched you hold Derek up when he was falling apart over his failed agency. I've watched you be patient and kind and brilliant, and I fell for you so hard I couldn't see straight. I couldn't breathe. Marcus, let me finish, please." His hands were shaking. "I've hated myself for it. You were my best friend's wife. It was wrong, so I buried it. I dated other women, trying to make it go away. It never went away. And then, when Derek started cheating on you, when I realized he was throwing away the best thing that ever happened to him, it took everything in me not to tell you. Not to expose him and try to, I don't know, be there for you in a way that wasn't just friendly." "How long have you known about the affair?" My voice sounded far away. 3 months. I saw them at a restaurant in Baltimore. She was showing him ultrasound photos. I confronted him that night, and he told me everything. The affair started 8 months ago at some marketing conference. She didn't know he was married at first. He lied to her too, said he was divorced. When she found out the truth, she was furious, but by then she was already pregnant, and he convinced her they were meant to be together. And you didn't tell me. He begged me not to, said he needed time to figure out how to handle it. I was going to tell you anyway, but then he announced he was planning this whole thing, divorcing you publicly at your birthday party, as some kind of clean break. I told him he was insane, that he was being cruel beyond comprehension. I threatened to tell you myself if he went through with it, but you didn't. I should have. God, I should have. I was trying to give him one last chance to do the right thing. To tell you privately, like a human being instead of this spectacle. Marcus's voice cracked. I failed you. I'm so sorry, Nia. I failed you as a friend. I sat there processing this new information. Marcus had been in love with me for 6 years. Marcus had known about Derek's affair for 3 months. Marcus had watched me get humiliated tonight, knowing it was coming. Why are you telling me this now? I asked. Because I can't keep lying to you. Because Derek just blew up your entire life, and you deserve to know the truth. All of it. He looked at me with raw vulnerability, and because when he proposed to her, when I watched him destroy you in front of everyone, something in me just broke. I don't want to be the guy who stays silent anymore. I don't want to be the friend who protects the wrong person. So what do you want to be? Marcus met my eyes. I want to be the person who's there for you, in whatever capacity you'll let me. Friend, lawyer, shoulder to cry on, whatever you need. And if I said I needed more than that, the question surprised even me. Where had that come from? Marcus's eyes widened. Nia, I'm not saying I do, I said quickly. I don't know what I'm saying. My husband just proposed to his pregnant girlfriend at my birthday party. My brain isn't working right. I know, and I'm not trying to take advantage of your vulnerability. That's the last thing. But what if it's not taking advantage? I interrupted. What if it's just clarity? He wanted me to be the victim of his story. You are the victim. No. I turned to face Marcus. I refuse to be. I refuse to let him have that. He wants me to fall apart, to beg him to stay, to make a scene. A smile spread across my face, wild and reckless. What if I gave him a different scene entirely? Marcus stood up so fast his chair nearly tipped over. What? Kiss me. Right here. Right now. And then we're going back inside to where everyone's still lingering, and I'm going to make an announcement. Nia, you're not thinking straight. I'm thinking perfectly straight. For the first time in hours, I stepped closer to him. Derek wants me to be the abandoned wife? Fine. I'll be the wife who said yes first, to his best man. The social media explosion was immediate and catastrophic. Within an hour of my post, it had over 300 likes and 100 comments. Within 2 hours, it was being shared and screenshot across platforms. By midnight, it had gone viral in our community. Everyone who knew Derek and me, everyone who'd been at the party, everyone who loved a good scandal. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Messages from college friends I hadn't talked to in years. Texts from church members. DMs from Derek's coworkers asking if it was true. Even my physical therapy patients were reaching out with shocked reactions and messages of support. You need to turn that off, Marcus said, gently taking my phone from my hands. We were still at my parents' house, sitting in their living room at 1 a.m. while my mother made tea. Nobody was drinking, and my father paced by the window. I can't, I said. I need to see what people are saying. Why? You already know Derek is losing his mind. You already know this is working. Looking at your phone every 30 seconds isn't going to change anything. He was right, but I couldn't help myself. Every notification felt like vindication. Every supportive comment felt like armor against the humiliation Derek had tried to bury me in. Oh my God, Maya said, looking at her own phone. Jasmine just posted something. We all crowded around as Maya pulled up Instagram. Jasmine had posted a photo of her engagement ring, a modest diamond that Derek definitely couldn't afford, with the caption, "Some people can't stand to see others happy." Tonight was supposed to be about celebrating love and new beginnings, but instead it got turned into a circus by bitter people who can't move on. Derek and I are stronger than ever, and our baby deserves better than this drama. All blessed and highly favored, #rise above hate, #new family. I stared at the post, rage bubbling up fresh and hot. She called me bitter, I said quietly. The woman sleeping with my husband called me bitter. She's deflecting, Marcus said. She knows she looks bad, so she's trying to control the narrative. Well, she's about to find out I can control narratives too. I grabbed my phone back and started typing a response. Nia, don't. Maya tried to stop me, but I was already commenting on Jasmine's post. Congratulations on your engagement. I'm sure Derek's second marriage will be much happier than his first. Pro tip, when he starts working late and going to conferences in a few years, maybe check his phone. Also, you might want to ask him about his actual financial situation before planning that wedding. But I'm sure it'll all work out. Best wishes to you and your baby. Sad dog. Nia, my mother gasped. What? I was being nice. I even used a champagne emoji. Marcus was trying not to laugh. That was not subtle. Good. I'm done being subtle. I refreshed the post. Already, people were liking my comment and responding with laughing emojis and OMG Nia reactions. My phone rang. Derek again. Should I answer? I asked. Absolutely, Maya said, pulling out her own phone. I'm recording this. For the lawyers. I answered on speaker. Hello. Delete that comment right now, Derek was screaming. You're making Jasmine cry. She's pregnant, Nia. The stress isn't good for the baby. Oh, so now you care about stress and babies? That's interesting, considering you proposed to her at my birthday party specifically to cause me stress. That was different. How? How is it different, Derek? I was being honest about my feelings. I was starting my new life. You're just being vindictive. I'm being honest too, I said calmly. Honestly, telling Jasmine to watch out for the same behaviors that destroyed our marriage. I'm doing her a favor. Really. You're insane, and everyone can see it. Everyone knows you're just doing this Marcus thing to get back at me. Nobody believes you actually have feelings for him. Do you want to talk to Marcus yourself? I offered. He's right here. You two were best friends for years. Maybe he can explain it to you. Put him on, Derek demanded. I handed the phone to Marcus, who'd been listening with increasing anger. Hey, Derek, Marcus said, his voice cold. How could you do this to me? We were brothers, man. Brothers. And you stabbed me in the back the second I turn around. You stabbed Nia in the back for 8 months while she thought you were working on your marriage. I watched you humiliate her in front of 50 people. I watched you blame her for medical issues neither of you could control. So no, Derek, I don't feel bad about this. You've been planning this, haven't you? You've been waiting for a chance to move in on my wife. Your soon-to-be ex-wife. And yeah, I've been in love with her for years. The difference is, I didn't act on it while you were married. I waited until you blew up your own marriage in the most spectacular way possible. That's on you. She doesn't love you, Derek spat. She's using you. And when she's done getting revenge, she'll dump you and you'll realize you threw away our friendship for nothing. If that happens, it happens. But Derek, she deserves better than what you gave her. And if I can be that for her, even for a little while, it's worth it. You're both going to regret this. Are you threatening us? Marcus's voice went sharp. Because Maya is recording this conversation, and any threats you make can and will be used against you in the divorce proceedings. Silence. Then Derek hung up. That went well, I said. My father, who'd been silent this whole time, finally spoke up. That boy always was a fool, but I never thought he was cruel. Tonight proved me wrong. I'm sorry, Daddy. I know you like Derek. I liked who I thought he was. Turns out I didn't know him at all. He looked at Marcus. You planning to hurt my daughter too? No, sir, Marcus said without hesitation. I'm planning to make sure she never gets hurt like this again. Good, because if you do, I know where you live and I still have my hunting rifle. Daddy, I protested. What? I'm just being clear about expectations. My mother finally brought over the tea she'd been making, pressing warm mugs into our hands. Drink. You all need to calm down before somebody does something we can't take back. Too late, Maya said, still scrolling through social media. This is already everywhere. People are choosing sides. Team Nia versus Team Derek. It's like a reality show. What are people saying? I couldn't help asking. Mostly, they're on your side. Everyone remembers Derek as the guy whose business failed and who you supported for years. Nobody's buying his victim act. Though, she hesitated. What? There are some people saying you moved on too fast, that it's suspicious you're with Marcus literally the same night Derek proposed to Jasmine. They're saying it proves you were cheating too. I felt my stomach drop. That's not. We weren't. We know, my mother said firmly. The people who matter know. Let the gossipers gossip. They'd find something to criticize no matter what you did. But it bothered me anyway. The idea that people might think I'd been unfaithful, that I was no better than Derek. Hey, Marcus said, reading my face. Look at me. We didn't do anything wrong. I've loved you from a distance for years without acting on it. You've been faithful to a man who didn't deserve it. What we're doing now, after he publicly left you, is nobody's business but ours. But what if? No what ifs. We're doing this, remember? All in. Let them talk. I nodded, trying to believe him. My phone rang again. This time it was Simone. Girl, I leave you alone for 3 hours and you announce you're dating Marcus? What the hell happened after I left? It's a long story, I said. I've got time. I'm coming back over. Don't make any more major life decisions until I get there. She hung up before I could protest. 20 minutes later, Simone burst through the door with a bottle of wine and a bag of takeout. Okay, she said, setting everything on the coffee table. Everybody eat. And then Nia is going to explain how we went from my husband proposed to another woman to I'm dating his best friend in less than 4 hours. So I told her. Everything. Marcus's confession, the kiss, the decision to fight back, the social media posts. She listened without interrupting, her expression cycling through shock and concern and finally landing on something like reluctant approval. She said, okay, she said when I finished. I have questions. I figured. First, are you actually into Marcus or is this pure revenge? I looked at Marcus, who was watching me carefully. Honestly, I don't know yet. Maybe both. But that kiss earlier? That felt real. And he's been there for me in ways Derek stopped being years ago. So, I want to find out. Fair enough. Second question. Have you thought about what happens when the revenge high wears off? When you actually have to deal with the divorce and the aftermath and all the complicated feelings? No, I admitted. I'm kind of just surviving minute to minute right now. Which brings me to question 3. Marcus, are you prepared for the possibility that she's going to break your heart? That this might be trauma bonding and when she heals, she realizes she doesn't actually want you? 6 years of watching her from a distance, wishing I could tell her how I felt. Now I get my chance. If it doesn't work out, at least I'll know I tried, instead of spending the rest of my life wondering what if. Simone studied him for a long moment, then nodded. Okay, I'm in. You're in? I asked. I'm Team Nia, whatever that means. If it means supporting you dating Marcus to spite Derek, I'm in. If it means helping you through the divorce, I'm in. If it means helping you figure out what you actually want once the dust settles, I'm in. She pointed at Marcus. But if you hurt her, I will destroy you. Understood? And understood, Marcus agreed. Good. Now let's eat, because I'm starving and this drama is exhausting. We spent the next hour eating Chinese food and scrolling through social media reactions. The story had taken on a life of its own. Someone had created a hashtag, Nia's Revenge. There were memes, GIFs, heated arguments in comment sections about who was in the wrong. This is insane, I said, watching strangers debate my life online. This is 2024, Maya corrected. Everything is content now. At least you're controlling the narrative instead of Derek. Around 3 a.m., my phone dinged with an email notification. The subject line made my blood run cold. From Derek's lawyer. I opened it with shaking hands. Mrs. Collins, I represent Derek Collins in the matter of your divorce. Please find attached the proposed settlement agreement. As you'll see, Mr. Collins is requesting a 50-50 division of all marital assets, including the value of your physical therapy practice, the home in Cherry Hill, retirement accounts, and vehicles. Additionally, Mr. Collins is requesting spousal support of $3,000 monthly for a period of 5 years, given that he supported your career development in the early years of your marriage and is now at a disadvantage in rebuilding his career. Please review with your attorney and respond within 10 business days. Regards, Mitchell Pemberton, Esquire. $3,000 a month? I said out loud. For 5 years? Is he out of his mind? Maya grabbed my phone, read the email, and her face went dark. Oh, hell no. He's trying to claim he supported your career? Your practice that you built while his agency was failing? Can he do that? I asked. He can try. Doesn't mean he'll get it. She was already texting. I'm calling my husband. He's going to recommend the best divorce attorney in Maryland. Someone who will eat Derek's lawyer for breakfast. This is going to get ugly, my mother said quietly. It was already ugly the second he proposed to another woman at her birthday party, my father replied. Now it's just going to be expensive too. Marcus put his arm around me. We'll figure it out. You're not alone in this. He wants half my practice, I said, the reality sinking in. The practice I built from nothing. That I grew while he was failing. That I used to support us while he figured out his next move. And now he wants half? He won't get it, Maya said firmly. Not if we can prove he contributed nothing to it and actually drained resources from the marriage with his business failures. We'll document everything, every bill you paid, every time his business needed a bailout, every cent of your money that went to supporting his dreams while yours succeeded. What about the house? I asked. We'll deal with that too. But Nia, you need to prepare yourself. This divorce is going to take months, maybe over a year, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. Derek is clearly going to fight for everything he can get. Because he needs money for his new family, I realized. The baby, Jasmine. He's panicking about how he's going to support them. That's not your problem, Simone said. He should have thought about that before he got her pregnant, but the court might see it differently, Maya warned. A judge might be sympathetic to the fact that he has a baby on the way and needs financial support. Even though he caused this whole situation? I asked. Even though family court can be unpredictable. That's why you need the best lawyer money can buy. I looked at the email again, at the casual way Derek's lawyer had laid out his demands. Like I was just a bank account to be divided up. Like 7 years of marriage could be reduced to a spreadsheet of assets and debts. I want to fight, I said. I want to fight him on every single line item. I want to make this as difficult and expensive for him as he's trying to make it for me. That's going to cost you too, Maya warned. The more you fight, the more lawyers bill. Sometimes it's smarter to settle and move on. I don't care. He humiliated me in front of everyone I know. He's trying to take money I earned while he was failing. He blamed me for our infertility in front of 50 people. I'm not making this easy for him. Okay, Maya said, then we fight. But Nia, you need to be smart about this. No more impulsive social media posts. No more public comments on Jasmine's page. Everything you say and do from now on can be used against you in court. Derek's lawyer will paint you as vindictive and unstable if you give them ammunition. What about the Marcus thing? I asked. What about it? Will that hurt me in court? The fact that I'm dating his best friend literally the same night he left me? Maya and her husband, who'd arrived while we were eating, exchanged a look. It could, her husband Trevor admitted. He was a corporate lawyer, not family law, but he knew enough to be helpful. Derek's lawyer could argue you were having an emotional affair with Marcus, that you're vindictive and moved on suspiciously fast. But on the other hand, Derek very publicly left you for someone he'd been cheating with for 8 months while she got pregnant. His moral high ground is pretty shaky. So what do I do? Be careful. Keep the relationship quiet for a while. No more social media posts. No public displays of affection where Derek's people might see and document it. Let him be the one who looks unstable and impulsive, not you. I looked at Marcus. Does that work for you? Keeping us quiet? Whatever you need, he said. I'm not going anywhere. We can take this at whatever pace makes sense for you and your divorce. But I already posted about us, I said. Everyone already knows. So we walk it back a little, Trevor suggested. You don't delete the post. That looks worse. But you stop posting about it. And if anyone asks, you say you and Marcus are taking things slow, that you're focusing on your divorce, that the relationship is very new and you're not ready to discuss it publicly. That sounds like letting Derek win. No, it sounds like not giving his lawyer ammunition to take your money, Maya said firmly. There's a difference between revenge and stupidity. The Instagram post was revenge. Continuing to publicly antagonize Derek while he's building a legal case against you would be stupidity. She was right. I knew she was right. But God, it felt good to fight back. It felt good to see Derek rattled, to know I'd gotten under his skin the way he'd gotten under mine. Fine, I said. I'll be careful. No more posts. No more comments. We keep things quiet. Good girl, my mother said. Now, it's almost 4 a.m. Everyone needs to sleep. You can figure out the rest tomorrow. But I knew I wouldn't sleep. My mind was racing too fast, cycling through everything that had happened in the past 8 hours. 8 hours ago, I'd been excited about my birthday party. Now I was planning a divorce, navigating a revenge relationship that might be real, and preparing for a legal battle that could drain my savings and take over a year of my life. After everyone finally left, Simone to her apartment, Maya and Trevor to their house across town, my parents upstairs to their bedroom, Marcus and I sat alone in the living room. You can go home, I said. You don't have to stay. Do you want me to go? I thought about being alone in my parents' house with nothing but my thoughts and the wreckage of my marriage. No, I admitted, I really don't. Then I'm staying. He pulled me closer, and I rested my head on his shoulder. Marcus, yeah? Thank you. For tonight. For all of it. For telling me the truth even though it was hard. For standing up to Derek. For being here. Always, he said. I meant what I said earlier. I'm all in. Whatever this is, whatever it becomes, I'm here. I tilted my head up to look at him. Kiss me again. Nia. Please, I need to know if it felt as good as I remember. If it was just the adrenaline, or if there's actually something here. He studied my face for a moment, then leaned down and kissed me. It was slower this time, less desperate, but just as intense. When we broke apart, I had my answer. It's real, I whispered. This is real. Yeah, Marcus agreed. It really is. I'm terrified. Me too. But I want to try anyway. Then we try. He kissed my forehead. One day at a time. We figure this out together. My phone buzzed one more time. Another message, this one from a number I didn't recognize. You think you won tonight, but you have no idea what's coming. Derek isn't done with you, and neither am I. Jasmine, threatening me. I showed Marcus the message. We're telling the lawyer about this, he said immediately. And possibly the police. That's harassment. She's pregnant and scared, I said. I probably shouldn't have commented on her post. She's pregnant and threatening you, Marcus corrected. There's a difference. Tomorrow, we document everything. Every text, every email, every threat. We build our case, so when this goes to court, you're bulletproof. Our case? I asked. Yeah, our case. You and me. We're in this together now. And despite everything, the divorce, the drama, the uncertainty, I believed him. Whatever came next, at least I wouldn't face it alone. Derek had tried to destroy me at my own birthday party. Instead, he'd freed me to become someone stronger, someone who fought back, someone who chose herself for the first time in years. And as I fell asleep in Marcus's arms on my parents' couch at 5 a.m, I realized something. My husband proposed to her at my birthday party. But I said yes first, to his best man. And that was just the beginning of the story. The real question was, how would it end?